The most tragic thing for me to see was actually the broken windows of these apartment buildings right over here. And then they go to sign in their children, and the pins that are used are placed in a UV light sanitizing station to be disinfected. Imagine that these 4 cards represent the 4 people who tested positive in the district. Not only do they have to quarantine, but so do the other 84 people who came in contact. I was actually on the way to an interview when I saw at least 8 emergency vehicles speed down this road, so I decided to follow to see what was going on, and this is what I saw. This dog just walked up to me moments ago. Like I said, it is like a ghost town out here. Dogs are wandering around. Damage is just covering the ground. I'm from Florida, so I'm not used to all of this, and I'm pretty excited. You can actually see it building up on my hand right now.
Kind of an honor to be able to come into the front lines to fight.
After a school day ends and hallways become quiet, lead custodian Billy Hall shows up for work.
I sanitize most of the desks, wall lockers, door handles.
He has one very important task.
Anything that we can do to keep our children safe.
With a heavy-duty sanitizing sprayer,
stays on for 5 minutes, and after the 5-minute time sequence, you can either wipe them down or let them dry.
And disinfecting wipes, the Lincoln County custodian team starts cleaning.
I think it's very, very vital that we do those things.
All to keep students like Bailey and Wingard safe after his mother, Ashley Wingard, decided to let him go to Lincoln County High School in person so he could stay involved in extracurricular activities.
He plays with all his heart. He loves football, so there's no way I was going to take that away from him.
And even though Wingard says the first day of school went smoothly for her 9th grader, she still has one main concern.
I think the high school has about 850 students in the building, and I think when you put that many people in an enclosed space, I mean, it's bound to happen.
And that's where the unexpected heroes of the pandemic come in.
That if I can be any service to be able to help us to move forward and to carry on, I'm really grateful that I was chosen to be able to do that.
One bar was so crowded and so few people wearing masks, we needed to leave because it didn't seem safe. 9 p.m. Typically pretty early for bars to be this packed, but at a bar called 1225 in Tuscaloosa, this is what it looked like. But let's rewind to the start of our journey at the University of Alabama. At 3:30 p.m., our executive producer and I arrived on campus. We saw these signs everywhere asking students to social distance and wear masks. We barely saw any students on the quad or along Greek Row, but everyone we did see wore masks and stayed in groups. Overall, it seemed safe. An hour later, we went to Buffalo Phil's. The restaurant and bar along the Tuscaloosa Strip forced customers to wait in line outside, and staff made sure we kept our distance. Once we sat down, staff members were always in masks. Customers put theirs on when they left their tables. Next up, a bar called the Bear Trap. It was one of the bars from viral pictures taken the prior weekend, but this week it looked much different. It's the only spot we saw a police officer. People stayed in groups and security told students to social distance. As we left at 7 p.m., we walked by this line leading up to the Bear Trap. You can hear the bouncer yelling, telling everyone to keep their masks on. They were so strict with capacity, we never got back in. Then it was a bar we heard students talking about. At 8 p.m., we walked into an already crowded 1225. When the crowd grew, staff removed tables and chairs to make more space for the bar. As the night continued, students continued to pile in. Take a look at the line into the bar now. You can see some students wearing masks, but there was no social distancing. This video was taken at 9:17 p.m. Look closely. There's no spacing, no one wearing face coverings, and people kept coming inside. Here's another video from 9:23 p.m. Lines of students waiting at the bar 4 people deep. No masks in sight. At this point, we decided to leave because it didn't seem safe. We took this video outside. You can see 1225 stood out. You don't see lines like that anywhere else. Our last stop was Galette's, a bar that faced backlash because of these scenes the prior weekend. No social distancing or masks. This weekend, it seemed the safest. Signs lined the bar asking people to take precautions, and you could see X's on the ground to show people where to stand. They told us to leave promptly at 11, and staff immediately started wiping down tables. As we started to leave, we did not see any Tuscaloosa police or University of Alabama police officers. We went back to Greek Row. It was eerily quiet and empty. If it's hot outside and your thermostat is reading pretty warm inside of your home, even with the air conditioning on, there could be an issue. And if you wait to get it fixed because of coronavirus concerns, you could end up paying about $6,000 for a new AC unit. For James Trulson, working with air conditioning units isn't just a job.
Hey, how you doing?
It's a passion.
I like finding these problems that nobody else can.
It's a family business called A&A Appliance Heating and Cooling.
Company's been in the business for 27 years.
But lately, the company hasn't been getting as many calls.
They're extremely paranoid about me coming inside the house, and the biggest deal is I can only do so much from outside the house.
Trulson says people are worried about getting the coronavirus from workers.
We're more than glad to wear a mask, we're more than glad to wear gloves, etc. We want the best for our customers.
I never felt uncomfortable with the individuals that were coming into my home.
Sherry Bolin has asthma and says while the coronavirus makes her nervous, she decided to pick up the phone and call A&A.
Having a unit that cleans the air properly is important. If you have any breathing concerns.
Trulson says a cool home is invaluable during the summer.
I hope business picks back up and we go back to normal, but normal will never be the same.